And hosting MIXI here in Jerusalem holds a special significance, not merely because it's our capital, but due to the city's pivotal role in driving health tech innovation in Israel. This is largely thanks to its world-class hospitals and universities, and it's my honor to welcome Professor Yoram Weiss, the General Manager of Hadassah Hospital, one of the best research hospitals in the world. Please.
Thank you for inviting us, and I would like first really to thank those who came from afar to join us in this important meeting, and we don't take it for granted. You know, Hadassah is an organization that is owned by the American Hadassah Women's Zionist Organization in the United States, which is the biggest women organization in the US, and we're very proud to be part of this organization. And I cannot refrain from mentioning the terrible events that happened on the 7th of October, especially in regard to what happened to some of the abductees and what happened to women during these events. So I think all of you will join me in understanding that we have to remember them, but life needs to continue, and we need to discuss also about the current and the future especially, and how we can bring in a much better future. So Hadassah has been a bridge to peace for many, many years, and I won't talk about that today, but I will focus a little bit on the healthcare, somewhat on the education, but mostly on the research that we are providing here at Hadassah. Now, when you look at an organization, the most important part in order to advance an organization is the human factor. And this is the critical issue. You can have the best infrastructure, you can have the best equipment, but you need to have the human factor, and this is what we're extremely proud about at Hadassah. We're serving one of the really most complex population in the world. We're addressing from the ultra-religious at the center of Jerusalem to the secular Jews in the kibbutzim around us, Christians, Muslims, Palestinians, etc. We're providing healthcare to all of them. We're treating more than 1.2 million patients every year. And in our business, we have an infrastructure of nearly $2.5 billion, and equipment is worth more than $250 million. But what we're especially really proud about is about the technologies that we are introducing into our organization. From the minimally invasive procedures, where we're leaders, and I'll show that in a moment, to robotics, to drug development, to regenerative medicine, to stem cell technology and CAR T technology, AI, 3D printing, and advanced monitoring. I won't be able to discuss all of the research that is undergoing at Hadassah. Just to give you a sample, we have a research fund that is worth more than $100 million. What I will do is I'll give examples of the tip of the iceberg of what we're doing. What we're looking is to focus ourselves in the future on precision medicine when it comes to really immunomodulatory diseases and cancer. And we've done a few things to address that through our Sharet Institute, which is one of the major cancer centers here in Israel. And I'll give a few examples of the work that has been done at Hadassah. When it comes to CAR T, we're not talking, we're doing. And in our GMP facilities, which I should say, all of our facilities are open to biotech technologies, and we're welcome, and I'll address it once more later on. But we have developed a multiple myeloma treatment in CAR T, which we sold to an American company, which is now doing the trials in the United States. When it comes to personalized medication, I'll give just one example, and this is Professor Michal Lotem's advanced research in melanoma, and she's here with us. And the other person is Professor Benny Rubinoff, who's really an example of regenerative medicine and anything that is related to stem cell therapy, which we're very proud about, and also a company that we sold to Genentech, which is a subsidiary of Roche for macular degeneration using stem cells. And these are also trials that are being conducted now in the United States. We have advanced clinical technologies, but what I would like to show you is our collaboration with the industry. And this is our collaboration with Medtronic on developing their Hugo robot. And the first general surgery in the world using their robot was done at Hadassah, by the way, during the war, transmitted to centers all over the world. We are also very, very proud about other collaborations that we are doing, including with Roche Pharmaceuticals and with PQR, and I'll give two of these examples. So with PQR, we are heavily involved in the development of an innovative new proton therapy device, which is instead of a lying chair, a sitting chair with a CT combination, which allows us to provide much more accurate treatment. And thanks to our physicist and oncologist at our center, we were able to acquire FDA approval just recently for this product, and we're extremely proud about that. The other thing is that we're proud about is our translational research. And the translational research is extremely important because Hadassah is really a university hospital. And as a university hospital, we have many infrastructure that we have developed that is allowing us basically to allow biotech companies to use our infrastructure for their advantage. And one of them is at the Wall Institute, which allows us to provide all the most advanced technologies to be used PET-CT, MRI for animals. But also, we're extremely proud about having the first in Israel organoid bank for developing treatments for patients. What are organoids, for those who don't know that? These are stem cells that are developed into quasi-organs. And we have about more than 150 samples of these organoids in our blood bank. And these can be used in order, instead of doing animal trials, to use and test drugs in these organs to see the response. Just one example, which I believe is extremely important, because at the end of the day, when we harness the technology of stem cell, I truly believe that at least in some organs, we will be able to develop organs for transplantation in patients within the coming 5 to 10 years. As I mentioned, we are a university hospital. Hadassah owns 50% of the Hebrew University Hadassah School of Medicine, and we're extremely proud in the collaboration with the Hebrew University, where basically our physicians are also working at the university, as in the United States, and we are basically using from the bench, which is at the university, to translation, which is done both at the university and at our center, and then moving to the clinical trials on patients. I'll give just one more example of our research, and this is our implementation of precision medicine and creating really a new way of looking at multidimensional data. And I know that artificial intelligence today is a buzzword and everybody is using it, but what we're trying to do is really to use it and to implement it both into the education, which is having a bioinformatics group at Hadassah working on that, also using artificial intelligence in research, but also in clinical application. And one of them is the use of our artificial intelligence in bringing it to the patient in cancer, and basically integrating the genetic information together with the laboratory information, together with imaging, together with a clinical file. And this is a project we're doing with Roche International Pharmaceuticals. We're extremely proud about that. And we're going to sample patients that are coming with the diagnosis of cancer immediately upon their arrival for their genetic constructs, and try to, using that, to identify the best precision medication that we can use to treat them. Now, I know that anything that is related now to drones is very, very popular, but we're using also drones in order to looking at the ability to move stuff between our two campuses, which are the two sides of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem is a traffic-heavy city, so it's becoming really an issue. So we're using that also. We're using also talking about our tech transfer company, Hadassah, which is really our arm in order to translate and to move our research into the commercial area, but also to provide biotech companies the ecosystem to develop their work here at Hadassah. So from Hadassah, we have more than 250 families of patents that are being used. And I'll just give you 10 examples, and I give you before the examples of the just recent examples of products that we were able to move into the global market. But we're also having an Hadassah accelerator, which is allowing new companies, high-tech companies that are coming on board to join Hadassah together with IBM and to allow them from the seed time that they are in the seed stage to allow them to flourish. And we were able to have more than 25 companies graduate this program in 3 cohorts, and they were able, based on the work that is being done at Hadassah, to raise more than $80 million. I would like also to mention that in our campus, we have a group of startup companies that employ today more than 700 workers work in the biotechnology. So once more, we are open to serve the community of the biotech industry here in Jerusalem and in Israel, both in our GMP infrastructure, the Wall Foundation, which we put in place, the Wall Institute for Advanced Research, Translational Research, and the Organoid Center. And finally, what I'm showing you here is the wishing of kids in our pediatric hospitals, wishing each other a Happy New Year, both in Arabic and Hebrew, looking for better times. Thank you very much.